Welcome to another coding video hosted by me, Ashu. As you can remember from the last coding video, we were making the first part of our Tic Tac Toe game. In this video, we're making the second part. We'll be creating the winning rules of our Tic Tac Toe game. We'll use functions and many if-else statements. Enough talk, let's code!
So let us start. So what we did on our last video, we made a Tic Tac Toe app. It's not really finished, so today we're going to be making our part 2, but here's what we did so far. Every time we click on a button, it's going to display X or O, depending on the turn who it is. It goes in the pattern X, O, X, O, X, O, X, O, X, and yeah, so on. And in this video, we're going to be creating like some conditions and rules that allow you to win the game. Like right now, these three, X, 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 they're both diagonals of winning. If the app was created and the rules were created so as the conditions, then X would have won. Player X would have won. So in this video, we're going to be doing just that. We're going to make some conditions that allow any player to win. So let's look at this. Button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so over here, let's go into blocks. Today, oh wow, a lot. This is a lot. This looks perfectly organized. And in this video, not episode, we're not in Netflix original or anything. So in this video, we are going to be using functions too. To do something. Okay, let's get started. Let's call this function check. It's going to check if anyone wins or not. So if you already counted any way to win the game, there are 8 ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There's 8 ways. So we're going to be creating a function that makes some rules and conditions, like if else, that makes some rules and conditions to find if any player wins. Using any one of those 8 chances in which you can win. Also, we're going to be creating so if no one wins, then there's obviously going to be a tie. So exactly. So let's first focus on the tie. For the tie, we're going to be creating a variable. This variable is going to be called count. For it to count, okay, so let me explain all this to you. We're going to be using count. Let's first set count to 0. Okay, so each time we press a button, count will be changed by 1 plus 1. 0 plus 1 equals 1. Then when you press another one, 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So on and so forth. And after the function will check, anyone wins? Yes, someone won, but let's just create a chance in which no one wins. This, nope. This, nope. I know you can win over here, but I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go here and yes. In this scenario, no one wins. So the count variable will check like 0 plus 1 equals 1, same thing, and then it's going to change into 9. Then the function will check, is count equal to 9? If yes, and no one wins yet, like the previous conditions, it says that no one won yet, then that means that it's a tie. So we'll be using count variable on that. But before we can do that, let's create another design component that lets you see, hey, it's a tie, or player 1 wins, player 2 wins, anyone wins. Okay, so label, there's nothing yet. So now that we have gotten our design component of the label, and this label, I'm gonna name it R, short for result. So the result will be player X or O wins, or it's a tie. So yeah, so let's make a function. We already did. Now let's make some code blocks inside that function. First, let's make a if or do else or whatever. Okay, so else if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'll need these 9. Yeah. But I already told you that count variable is going to change by 1 each time. So let's create over here, change app variable count by 1 every time. So yeah, now let's make the first condition of the if it's a tie. So let's go into logic, equal, then count is equal to 9, do R, I'm just going to check, R text should be it's a tie. You can do whatever you want, like be like it's a tie or anything. So yeah. If you have noticed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For some reason there's 9. There's supposed to be 8, so I'm deleting that. Deleted. What just happened? Okay. Anyways, it is deleted. And yeah. I just have to get this out. Okay. As you can see, there's 8. 8 for each chance, for each scenario. Yes, scenario. If for each scenario that someone wins. So let's first create the first scenario in which let's first create the 3 scenarios in which, like, the horizontals. 1, 2, or 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8, or 9. So I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna tell you how we can, like, make that scenario clear. So we just have to. It's as simple as pie. I'm not a big fan of pie. I've never tasted it, but I've just seen that metaphor a lot. So I'm just saying it's easy as pie. Yes, pie. So let's create an and block. We just have to compare each of the texts. You have to get 2 equals. I'm gonna copy it 1, 2, 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And put them over here. In each of these, first let's focus on the first horizontal. 1, 2, and 3. Why do I always have to scroll down? 1, 2, and 3. So, button 1's text, I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna put one over here. Copy. I'm gonna do it some. I'm gonna do it some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, so I think this is enough. All the way down here. Yes, that is enough. Enough. Okay, button 1's text and those things. Okay. So, button 1's text has to be equal to button 2's text. And button 2's text button 2's text has to be equal to button 3's text. Try saying this 3 times. Button 1's text equals button 2's text. I'm tongue tied. Okay. So, and then button 1's text has to be equal. I mean, not buttons 1's. Let's go move on to the next row. Button 4's text. Button 4's text. Button 4 text. I'm tongue tied. Button 4's text has to be equal to button 5's text, and button 5's text has to be equal to button 6's text. And then, finally, button 7's text has to be equal to button 8's text, and button 8's text is to be equal to button 9's text. Finally. Okay, then, now we're done with the rows. Now let's do the columns. Button 1's text has to be equal to button 4's text. Then button 4's text has to be equal to button 7's text. Button 2's text has to be equal to button 5's text. And button 5's text has to be equal to button, come on, move. Button 5's text has to be equal to button 8's text. And now let's do the last row. Button 3's text equals button 6's text, and button 6's text has to be equal to button 9's text. And now we have to finally do the diagonals. So button 1's text has to be equal. Oh, come on. Button 1's text has to be equal to button 5's text, and button 5's text has to be equal to button 9's text. And finally, move up here, will ya? Wait, why is there 5? I'm just going to delete this one. We have no use for that. Sorry, little button. Okay, so button 3's text has to be equal to button 5's text, and button 5's text has to be equal to button 7's text, yeah. So, now we have done all the conditions, and boy is this a lot. Now we have to do what'll happen. So, yeah. Okay, so let's go into blocks, and I have to scroll all the way down again. And yeah. So, it'll work like this. We just have to get a text from any of these buttons. Then we have to then we have to be like, wait. So R. I'm just gonna do it for 1, and hopefully you'll understand. So set R's text to something, and let's get a join. And get another join. Why do they do hello world? Why? Instead of hello world. Okay, anyways, player space wins. Yeah. So let's copy this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now let's put them into each one. Yes. Now, so button 1 is 2 is 3, so I'm just gonna take button 1's, join button 1's text and wins. Then yes. So I'm just gonna make it. I'm just gonna make it so that whenever we have a whenever we have like a uh scenario in which someone wins, I'm just gonna change all these buttons into red. So let's do that. Set buttons, text color to red. Do the same thing with every one of them. Twos. This is supposed to be red. Threes. And same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yes, this might be enough. Like this, like this, like this, like this, and boom, boom. Link it up with each one. Yes, button 4's. We're not calling the function. We're not calling it in any of these. So let's do that. Check, 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 and checks. There's one space on here. 1, 2 spaces. It's because like whenever we're comparing the text, all the dashes are the same. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, now it'll work. Yay! Player X wins. Let's do it again, except this time player L wins. Take this, like this, like this. Player O wins. Now let's make it a tie. Doom, 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 doom. It's a tie. Wow. We have made our second part of our Tic Tac Toe app. So, but remember that there are 2 more parts left. There's going to be 4 parts. So, right now, already, this is pretty impressive that we did in 2 videos. Pretty impressive. A Tic Tac Toe app. Now, obviously, X will win. No matter way. Boom, X wins. So, it's pretty impressive. So, see you guys in the next video.